What place is overrated to visit? Hollywood. The most disappointing garbage and piss-covered place on earth. Lol, I used to live about 20 minutes away from Hollywood. My wife and I went back to go visit family and she wanted to go to Hollywood. I tried telling her it's not what you think it's like, but she was adamant, so I took her. She was so disappointed. My wife is actually visiting my family in California right now. LPT, do not go to Hollywood. It's stars on the sidewalk and everywhere literally smells like urine mixed with trash. It's dirty as frick and can be dangerous. Save the money and don't go. Times Square on New Year's. If you know, you know. Who doesn't want to make out wearing a full diaper? Plymouth Rock, the only boat small enough to have landed on it would be for ants. Came here for this. Plymouth Rock, New England's lamest tourist attraction. It's a fake rock in a sand pit covered with Newport butts and Dunks cups. Also, it's not even the actual spot the pilgrims landed. Go to Provincetown and see the real monument. Edit, 100% agree. Plymouth Plantation is where it's at. Skip the rock, go for the plantation. The New York Stock Exchange, you can't actually go in and see the trading floor. But it is a stock exchange. There is no money you can steal. The Little Mermaid statue in Copenhagen, it's just so meh and too far away from the city center, especially if it's freezing outside like the time I visited it. Just get a souvenir or a postcard or something. Copenhagen itself is beautiful though, very highly recommended. Japan has such a romanticized view of France that they actually have a term, Paris syndrome, for the sudden shock suffered by Japanese tourists when they see that France isn't how they imagined. Area 51. Nice try, Area 51 guard. Boardwalk in Monopoly. So now I know everywhere I want to visit is overrated. I was right to stay home and play video games then, I guess. Someone will think everywhere is overrated. If you check the travel sub and say you're going to a European capital city, it's overrated and you need to go to the countryside. If you're going to the countryside and skipping the capital city, you are missing out because it's a gem. Go where you want. Read up on it so you have reasonable expectations of what you will see though. Oslo Fjorden. Please go anywhere else in Norway when you visit. The word fjord is very misleading, since the Scandinavian meaning is nothing more than a narrow inlet. To see the proper glacial fjords you need to travel to the west coast. If it's a super popular spot on Instagram, it's probably overrated. Dubai. Unless you're really into spending all day in an air-conditioned building, then going to the air-conditioned basement to get in an air-conditioned car to travel to the air-conditioned basement of another air-conditioned building, in which case, do I have a city for you? As someone that lives in the southern US, I want that infrastructure here ASAP. Dubai and Abu Dhabi. No salary could make me move there. The people of Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but the people of Abu Dhabi do. Edit, you all should have seen my dad fratting with daughter's Halloween costume. This isn't even my final form. Don't go to the West Rim if you're seeing the Grand Canyon. Yes, the Skywalk is there, but that's about all that differs it from the rest. West Rim gets all of the Chinese and Las Vegas tourists who will literally trample you to get into the shuttle buses and fill up restaurants as soon as they open. I know North Rim is closed during winter, but if anything you should go to South Rim. Mall of America. It's just a mall with a lot of stuff in it. My opinion would have probably be different if I didn't live in Minnesota. Minnesotan who agrees with you, but I will say it was a little different when it was new. The sheer size of it blew our minds, And the stores were much more unique and quirky back then. It was filled with shit you didn't see anywhere else. Now it's just the same standard chains you see in every suburban mall. Often with multiple locations of the same store because of the huge size. UAE, it's the most culturally deficient place you will ever see in your life. I had a friend who needed help deciding between Dubai and Tokyo for a summer vacation. I think I had a fit when he said he was leaning towards Dubai. Four Corners. It's hours away from anything notable and there isn't really anything to do there except to picture and buy Native American crafts. Mount Rushmore. Its face is on a rock basically and smaller than you think. The unfinished Crazy Horse Monument is way more impressive emo. But it makes me a little sad because it is the absolute opposite of what Crazy Horse would have wanted. The Mona Lisa in Louvre in Paris. It's just a small painting hanging quite far away in a really crowded room full of tourists. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful, iconic painting, but it's not worth visiting the Louvre only for the Mona Lisa. The majority of the other artworks in that museum are more impressive than the Mona Lisa. Pisa. Besides the small square with the tower where everyone is taking the same shitty joke pic, and guys trying to sell you toys, the rest of the town is pretty shit. You're in Tuscany, go to any small town and you'll enjoy it far more. If you're ever in Berlin, do all the touristy stuff in one day. Go to the Reichstag and walk to the Brandenburger Tor, visit the Holocaust Memorial, then walk to the Alexanderplatz. There's not that much to see, but that city has so much more cool places to visit or to hang out. Especially if you're looking to meet people or not pay much for little value. Bondi Beach in Sydney. Overcrowded, everything there is way overpriced. Definitely Mallorca. I'm German enough, I don't want to hear 90% German on holiday in Spain as well. The quieter, less central parts of Mallorca are gorgeous, especially for snorkeling and diving, but the Playa de Palma, or at least that part, is horrendously German lol. If you're in Dublin, stay away from the Temple Bar area. It's ridiculously overpriced and is not at all what a real Irish bar is like at all. I live in Vancouver, Canada, and there is a place called Capilano Suspension Bridge. It sounds good but is overpriced and loaded with people. Bourbon Street, New Orleans. It's really just the same as any other bar district in any other large city around the world. Same old cover bands playing the same old songs that you'd hear anywhere. You can experience all you need just by walking down the street for an hour and not going in anywhere. Frenchman Street on the other hand is absolutely amazing. Everyone should go to NOLA just for that. Edit, I'm not knocking NOLA itself though, that city is amazing and definitely somewhere I'm going to return to next time I return to the USA on holiday. Anyone said Niagara Falls yet? Hear me out on this one. The falls themselves are beautiful, and I guess if you're really into the history of a waterfall and its surroundings you can spend half a day there. But once you've seen it, you've got nothing. The Canadian side is a discount Vegas, which Vegas in itself has been listed like 18 times in this thread. The US side is slummy ass Buffalo. Make Niagara a pit stop, not the destination. Times Square for sure. Although it's cool to see all the lights, it's honestly just glorified ads everywhere you look. There's nothing really special about Times Square. Lots of people, chain restaurants, subpar quality food, lots of homeless people on the streets, and random people trying to sell you stuff as you walk by. Brussels. If you're in Belgium, visit Ghent and Bruges. Who goes to a vacation in fucking Bruges? How can a fairy tale town not be somebody's frickin' thing? The Taj Mahal. Yes, It's beautiful, but it's also overcrowded, which ruins any serenity, and everything that there's to see is visible on the pictures you've seen 1,000 times before. The inside is dark, surprisingly small, and you're rushed through. Agra Fort, overlooking the Taj Mahal, by contrast is equally gorgeous, vibrant and teeming with history. I enjoyed it much more. Edit to say that of course I'm not suggesting you should go to Agra and skip the Taj Mahal. That would be ridiculous. It's still neat to see. But keep your expectations in check, plan for hectic crowds, and there are other sights that are equally if not more impressive. Vegas freaking stinks. The 7 wonders of the earth, Venice anywhere that's being destroyed by tourism. The pyramids are the only of the 7 wonders left, isn't it? Aren't they? It's the only one surviving from the ancient wonders of the world.